Tech. And of course, after that, at 74 will return. At 60, or pardon me, 84, TJ Stewart, another great black wrestler currently on the roster, an ACC champ. But we start with 174 as we come back. Two-time NCAA qualifier Lennox Wolak against number 18 Luca Augustine, that leader and captain for Pitt. Great matchup ahead of us.
It is. It's one that we've seen before. Wolak holds the 2-0 career record over Augustine. It's one that I believe the Panthers were really looking forward to. It's going to be a real good one. Super excited for this.
6-0 Pitt as we come back for our third matchup tonight. 2 decisions for the Pitt wrestlers. We started at 157. Here we are at 174. Lennox Wolak, the Columbia transfer, as you said, 2-0 against Augustine, but they haven't wrestled since 2022. And both wins were close decisions. 3-2 for Wolak back in 21, and then 3-1 for Wolak back in 22.
Two guys with 2 very similar careers. Looking like very similar style early on. Both really heavy on the collar ties and getting into their underhooks and stuff. Wolak, from what I've seen, goes up the body a little bit more frequently than what Augustine does. Augustine's a little bit more straight up.
Offense in the center, gentlemen.
When you're facing a guy at the college level for the 3rd time, how do you go about perhaps giving him a different look?
It's tough. I mean, I can imagine that these guys are pretty good memory on what their other guys do that they've faced in the past. It's something that you got to keep your opponent on your toes, and you got to have a good game plan with your coach, but at the same time not get too sucked up in your game plan. You know, it's being able to adapt at the time and listen to the coaches in your corner, telling what they see.
Let's go Hokies. Chance raining out as Virginia Tech still looks for their first team points on the board, and there's a hand to the face. Just over a minute to go in the first period of action. Once again, scoreless to kick us off. Is that a contact he's looking for? I don't know if that can be clean, but Wolak, the Columbia transfer, in his first year at Virginia Tech, already has a good rapport with his whole staff. As he's got a faculty member coming out with contact solution if needed. He says, no, I'll just put it right back in my eyeball. You wear contacts at all?
I do not, thankfully. I don't have to, never had to worry about a contact falling on the mat. That's something that I've seen that before, and I've never been jealous of that. Another very even bout here on their feet. You know, I feel all of these wrestlers are at such a top level and familiar with each other that they're really being careful with what's being thrown out there. Wolak goes for a trip a little bit from this tie.
30 seconds to go, still scoreless in period 1. Coach Gavin for Pitt said Augustine's the vocal leader of our team and does everything right, represents that blue-collar mentality that the Panthers wrestling program is all about. Showing that grit in the first period, all knotted up at 0.
It's a really good guy to be able to kick off that really top portion of his lineup for the Panthers. It's a good place to have your team captain in the lineup in that middle range, being ready to finish strong up top for the Panthers.
Beautiful view from Matt's side in a feverish Castle Coliseum. Wolak wants to start on top. And when you're choosing top or bottom, what did you prefer? Do you rather go third period and hope to get that escape point late?
So personally, in high school for me, I always chose top. I was a top wrestler, but for the most part, it's guys want to go down, get their early escape, and really or defer. Honestly, personally, if I'm coaching, I always tell my kid to defer, to go, oh, Wolak with the elevator to his back. Oh, my God, out of nowhere.
And he gets the pin. Wolak turns it around just like that, and Virginia Tech's right back in it.
The Hokies back in a flash.
6-6, tying it in one move.
I mean, there's not much you can do. A flurry, and Wolak comes out on top. Augustine driving in, powers the hips through and throws it over Wolak. Look at that. Beautiful from the new Hokie.
What a quick turnaround. When you have a big move like that, you tie it up with 6 points in one swivel of the action.
That's a dual changer, and going into the upper weights, that's a match that, you know, the Panthers really needed, and to then turn into bonus points.